Are you ready to mock?
Welcome to Mock of Love,
A weekly podcast providing commentary on VH1's golden age of celebrity reality dating shows. I'm Andy.
and I'm Ashley. Andy, will we be doing any research on these shows?
Almost none.
Will it be kid-friendly?
Fuck no.
Will it be bitchy and hilarious?
Absolutely.
Step into our playhouse and mock our world.
This is Mock of Love. Yeah, it's episode 6.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that hard to believe?
Yeah.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Andy.
I'm Ashley.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you as well.
It's another Mock of Love After Dark.
It is.
Why is that, Ashley?
Because we just watched the vice presidential debate.
Goddamn right. And do you want to really expound on like the cool things they talked about and how exciting and riveting policy discussions were?
No, I'm good. Oh, why? Thank you.
I think that'll do it. Yeah, I have to
Try
attach
some
Ashley's
duct tape next
mic.
time.
It's going to be a GIMP mask. Anyway, we're back with episode 6 of Rock of Love season 1.
Yes.
How's life? Are you feeling better? How's your ankle?
So I'm going to take the blame for you guys sadly not getting an episode last week of Rock of Love. We had such a great weekend. We had a great time
whirlwind
with the kids. We went to their sports. They're very cute.
They're very cute.
And then Saturday night, we went and saw the coolest concert if you were born in the early 80s.
It was massive.
Because it was Green Day, Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the Linda Lindas.
Yeah.
And it was dope. It was a really fun time. But I have to say, with my ankle situation and the extensive amount of walking and standing that we had to do for that show,
ankle situation,
I have been down and out for the last few days.
Yeah, and
so.
I think what is also being left out is that I am proudly over 40, and it was a 6-hour concert. And that's enough to do between that, the kids things. Oh my gosh.
And like the walk to and from, because anyway, it's a long story, but it was like a mile walk each way to the venue, which
for the parking and shit
would not be that bad if I didn't have a
busted ankle.
Oh,
Ashley, I was wondering, would you mind? I hate to interrupt, but would you mind handing me that guitar right next to you?
Okay.
Would you mind?
I could do that.
Just give me that guitar. I just might. I think I got something.
All right, a little something up your sleeve.
We'll see. It didn't. We'll see if this lands. You know, you take chances. You hope for the best.
Oh no, is this okay? Okay.
All right, everybody. Hey, I swear my spirit smells like teen. I'm your lithium. I'm your 12-gauge gun. Please come and feel this even flow. I'm still alive, and Jeremy, still he spoke. Please, someone stop the advent of grunge. And I like that I hit a sour note there at the end.
I know. I like that too.
Perfect.
But I disagree with the message of the song entirely.
I'm glad you said that. But do you know why I decided to do this as an idea? Do you know what killed hair metal, Ashley?
Oh, grunge.
Grunge.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank God.
It was on my mind because do you know what killed grunge other than a 12-gauge shotgun?
Oh, God.
Too soon?
Oh, God. Wow.
It can't be too soon. Come on.
It is. Okay. Honestly.
No,
baby, I miss you every day.
So that was one of the big contributors, but also punk rock, namely Green Day, your Rancids, your Offsprings.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The end of the hair metal phase was grunge. The end of grunge was Kurt Cobain's death, and then very soon thereafter, you have all these punk bands climbing up the charts.
Yeah.
So that was what was on my mind since we went to Green Day. Is really a deep cut.
Yeah.
They can't all be birthday cake. Yeah. You know, we take chances here.
I dig it. I liked it.
Ash, what's this episode?
This episode is it's episode 6 of the show. Much like
our episode.
Episode 6
You're in disbelief
of Mock
still.
of Love. This episode is called the Tour Bus Challenge.
7 girls remain. We're down to the end here.
The hot magnificent 7.
Gross. Yeah.
We're getting to the point in Rock of Love where Brett has to, as the numbers get lower, every week it's the hot magnificent 7, the sexy 6, the fabulous 5,
the fuckable 4.
It's like, oh my God, it's so cheesy. But yeah, that is what he calls them, the hot magnificent 7.
Oh God. And so Brandy, Mia, and Jess, they're being woken up by Big John right now. It's 6 a.m. This is not what they're used to. This is not the life that they have come up loving in the house.
Yeah, they're clearly like not happy to wake up. I know they're like starting to get into the challenge, which I think we can quickly catch up.
Sure.
Remember that we promised we were going to talk about Heather and Vanilla Ice?
Yeah, shit. I didn't do my research on that. Did you?
We use the term research loosely.
It is watching TV.
It is a Google search. And if something pops up, cool. If it doesn't, then that's no research.
We're not digging further. We're not hiring PIs.
Which honestly, this was so long ago, and I don't understand how like there's not evidence one way or the other, but apparently Heather was on something called the Surreal Life Fame.
Oh.
Something? Yeah. And that's where she met Vanilla Ice. That's what one Reddit thread said.
So it wasn't like was it an actual TV show?
I don't know. It's very confusing. And there's even one of the Reddit comments was like, there should be evidence of this. And why can't we find it? Some people think that maybe they got her mixed up with Trishelle, who was on The Surreal Life and had a crush.
That would make more sense because like Trishelle was like famous for something else, right?
She was on The Real World originally.
So that makes sense why she would be on The Surreal Life.
Exactly.
Heather being on Surreal Life before Rock of Love makes no sense because she was just a dancer.
The Surreal
Not
Life.
Just a dancer. No disrespect to our dancer listeners. Shout out to Ascension Tattoo in Orlando.
Surreal Life Fame Games.
Never heard of this.
I have not either, and apparently it is not streamable. We'll check. We'll look further into this, but
wow,
I know.
So
there you go.
Thank you, babe. Thank you for digging that up. That's fascinating. I do want to point out that they're on the challenge, but when they got the clue for the challenge, it was inscrutable. They could not determine from the lyrical clue what the hell they were going to do.
It was something about like are we going to be driving cars? It was something about being on the road.
Yeah, and
like someone thought maybe they were going to ride motocross again, but no. This is a challenge about
being
tour
on
buses,
tour, being on tour with Bret Michaels,
and very real scenarios that will never come up on tour.
So they get on this tour bus, and then they're paired up for a series of Fear Factor like challenges that get more and more bizarre. Yeah, like they're downright mean. I say bizarre. They're kind of mean.
It's like it's ridiculous.
Cruel.
It's supposed to be like, can you last on the, because Brett says something about like, every year for the last 22 years I spent 6 to 9 months of my life on a tour bus, which like I call bullshit. Has he been touring that much? Like I don't know. But yeah, they like they basically have a parking lot set up with the tour bus, and they have like city signs at different stations.
I should note, the city signs that are posted are cities that Bret Michaels' band probably doesn't play.
I thought about that too. It's all very big cities.
It's all big cities.
New York City, Philadelphia.
Which are not cities he hits when he's on the Rock of Love
Detroit,
bus in season 3.
Well, maybe Nashville, but
he is not hitting. Maybe no. Nashville, but that's about it.
Yeah. So the first one is New York City, and Jess gets to pick an opponent, and she calls her Legs. Magdalena,
which is very
and so
cute.
they have to there are these suitcases sitting outside of the bus, and they have to fill the suitcases with clothes and zip it up and get it back to the bus, and whoever gets there first wins.
Pretty harmless, pretty safe and easy challenge.
But like I was saying, like a very real question mark thing that would happen on
right.
I don't know, it's like ridiculous.
And so Jess almost has it in the bag, but then a sweater jams in her zipper. And she can't close the damn suitcase, and Mags wins it cleanly.
And so everyone who loses has to stay on these like pathetic benches next to the city sign in this parking lot by them. So, like they're tour-ins there. They're off the bus.
And they just chill in the stadium parking lot on a bench. Just burning. I hope they gave them shade.
Oh, I know. I bet it was brutal out there.
It looks rough. What's the next challenge after Mags wins that first one?
So then the next challenge is Philadelphia. And
appropriate.
Yes. Yes. And I think, didn't he like draw Magdalena's name out of a hat? I don't know how it works.
I don't know. I think
she got to pick her opponent, and she picked Sam, which like she thinks Sam is weak. A lot of people pick Sam because they think she's weak.
She's very frail. She's very emotional. She doesn't
look athletic or anything. But Magdalena and Sam's little,
challenge.
Obstacle course or whatever. Is that they have to change into, quote, whore clothes.
As Magdalena said.
In these disgusting porta potties.
They do look used, and according to the girls, they smell like they're used.
Like
porta
diapers.
Potties.
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
And it's not just like changing outfits. It's like they have to shimmy into crotchless lace leggings.
It's a full bodysuit.
It's like a
crotchless fishnet bodysuit.
Yeah, with like
short skirt,
with like a Band-Aid sized mini skirt on, and like a corset top.
Corset.
And then these heels that are like wedges, where they have like, I think they're called espadrilles, or I forget.
I'm sure the audience is going to grill you for this one.
Please correct me. I am a
girl.
No,
nobody gives a shit, babe.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I'm just trying to describe the shoes because that's why Magdalena lost. Is she didn't lace the shoes correctly. They had to twist the strings twice around their legs and tie them behind
the ankle.
Yeah. So Magdalena just like tied it in front and ran out, and she lost. And Sam took a little longer, but she tied the shoes correctly, and so she won.
And I thought it was kind of cute that Sam was like a little shit about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But this is something as you were watching it, like looking at some of Sam's talking heads this episode, I was getting the impression that the lines were more fed.
100.
Okay, you thought so too.
Yeah.
Like it's just like these girls haven't really talked like this before.
Yeah.
Like
the producer's starting to like give them little quips.
Cause she said something about like, I'll go this length for my man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way in hell did
Sam
fucking
not come
say
up with
that.
That is not.
She's not feeling this. Can we talk about Detroit challenge? Which
Oh yeah. Okay, so the next one is Detroit. And Lacey had to pick an opponent, and she also picked Sam, who, by the way, just won the challenge. But she's like, oh, Sam's weak. They're all like underestimating Sam.
Yeah.
And so the challenge with Sam and Lacey is they have to find a guitar pick in the bottom of this disgusting dumpster.
A literal dumpster, a literal used dumpster.
Yeah.
It is disgusting. This is like the most Fear Factor shit.
Oh, it looks...
And
nasty.
Bret Michaels was like, I love Fear Factor. I love Joe Rogan and everything that man produces. I think we need some.
Was that out by now?
Fear Factor had to be out mid 2000s.
Really? I forget.
I guarantee.
Yeah. It does feel very Fear Factor.
And I think they were like,
how
we need
disgusting can we, like one of the girls says it felt like we were digging through soup.
It's so fucking gross. They look so gross. And remind you, Sam has not changed out of her little tiny mini skirt, full fishnet bodysuit,
crotchless,
wedge heels, and a corset. She is digging through a dumpster and finds the pick and beats Lacey. Get fucked, Lacey.
Yeah.
We fucking don't like you. Holy shit, she wins. Lacey's stuck in Detroit. Lol. And then they go to Nashville. And this is kind of funny. It's Heather and Mia. I think Heather picks Mia.
Yeah.
Because...
Wait, side note first. This is where Big John is from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he mentions. He's like, this is my hometown. So I thought that was kind of cute.
That's cute.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
No.
Because it is freaking hilarious how their challenge plays out.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty rad. And so Heather picks me up, namely because Brandy M hasn't been picked for a challenge yet. And she goes like, oh, yeah, I wired all the electronics in my house. I know how to do this shit. She doesn't have a clue, and she admits it 10 minutes later.
That was like the smartest thing I've ever seen her do.
Fucking... ice cold.
It was brilliant. It was like, oh, I see this challenge coming up. And
I will choke hard.
I'm not going to be good at it. So I'm going to lie to everyone to make them think I'm good at electronics.
So that nobody picks me to pair up against. So Heather picks Mia and they wire everything.
So it's like.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We got to tell what it is.
Yeah. It's like an electric guitar. You know, all the terminology.
Oh,
What
okay.
are
I'll
these?
do this.
Yes.
So they have to connect an electric guitar to a tuner pedal to an amp and then get it to run sound to get it all to make
Just
sound.
make a noise.
So you have to find the right path for the cables to go.
Plug the cables in correctly
Yeah.
and make the guitar make a sound.
And they connect. They're just like, yeah, you just plug this into here and into here, and then they're just sitting there staring, both of them, like
nothing's happening.
nothing's fucking coming out.
And why is that?
Because they didn't plug them in.
Hey ladies, don't forget the first rule of being a roadie. Plug in your amps.
To the electricity from the city of Los Angeles. You need electricity to make the guitar make a sound.
All of this happen.
It's an electric guitar. So Big John has to tell them, hey, fucking plug it in.
Plug it in.
And so the second Mia plugs hers in, hers gets a little feedback,
yeah.
and they're like, Mia, you in. So
I
Mia
was
beats
dying
Heather.
laughing because the cameraman kept like zooming in on the plugs not plugged in as they're struggling with all the other wires,
God.
just making the point of like, what are they even doing? They haven't started with
Like,
the most.
wouldn't the girls notice that
important
the cameras are pointing like over here for some reason?
Yeah, or maybe they're so wrapped up in it that they just don't.
Yeah. It was fucking funny. And then after that, like as they're puzzling about it, Brandy announces to the world that she fucking lied, and it was a brilliant move.
Yeah, it was really funny.
So
Mia won that one.
And then the last three girls go to
Heather's
Seattle.
pissed. Yeah, then they go to Seattle.
And it's now Brandy has to do something, and so she picks Mia to face off against.
Did you notice that they started calling Brandy M BB?
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't either.
Do you know?
I don't know when they started calling Magdalena Legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that Legs was like once. BB is like once Big John said it in the scene, I noticed it the rest of the episode.
Yeah, they call her BB.
BB.
It hasn't come up before.
We'll have to like look up what maybe that
Why is she
means.
BB?
I don't know. Yeah.
But she picks BB. Brandy picks Mia to go against, and they have to line up the lyrics to Every Rose has its thorn.
Because why? How does Big John explain why they need to be able to do this?
I don't remember.
He says because Brett gets drunk often and forgets the words to his songs. I'm like, oh my God, that's okay. That's
My
good.
employer is incompetent and drunk.
He has
and you
one
might,
job.
You might need to tell
And
him
he's an alcoholic.
his
He can't
songs.
do it.
and Ashley, do you know the chorus?
Absolutely not.
You don't want to give it a crack?
Like, there's cowboys, there's roses,
Yeah.
there's thorns.
Cowboys have a sad song.
Every night has its dawn.
Yep, dude.
That's in there.
Babe, pretend you're 4. Pretend you're 4 and take what you just did and just keep going with it.
Oh my God. It's funny because Mia like thinks she gets it, but she's
I
like,
think she was full of shit. She does a talking head where she's like, I know this song. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you don't. I don't believe you for a second.
yeah, because
At no point,
BB gets it.
and at no point before this, really, have any of the women had to show that they care about Brett and Brett's music.
Right.
That they know it, that they care about it in order to move on. This is the first challenge where knowing the music actually matters
Right.
and moves you forward.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so Mia's been able
But
to kind of
maybe it's
coast pretending to be a fan
To be
of
a
Poison.
fan. But like, to be fair, not all of them say that they're Poison fans.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think, and I think that's the point they're always trying to kind of make is like, these are just beautiful girls. They could be from anywhere. They're not groupies.
They could be from CCA or whatever the fucking casting agency is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like we maybe found out about Jess. So
Like maybe we found that out.
I honestly, that was like one Reddit thread. So when I say we do no research, it means
we
I
do a
look on
little.
Reddit threads.
We occasionally dig.
And you know how reliable those are.
Well, what do we got? Mia loses. We mentioned that Mia
Yeah.
loses because she doesn't know the fucking song.
The chorus.
And so Sam and Brandy are in the finals. And you have to hurdle velvet ropes, push through tackling dummies, and then get to the bus.
And get to Brett. It was like,
Right.
when Brett's on the road, you're going to need to be able to find your way to him.
And weave through the velvet ropes because he only plays the fanciest establishments.
So it's like this obstacle course. And I LOL'd. I legitimately LOL'd while Brandy M and Sam were doing this obstacle
Because
course.
Sam is butt naked at this point.
She is still in her crotchless bodysuit, and so she's leaping over these velvet ropes, and luckily she had the foresight to wear like granny
Yeah.
panties underneath because
Praise God.
because there's just a granny panty pocket flashing at you.
100 the whole time. She's standing still and you're looking at her crotch.
Yeah.
Because this skirt doesn't cover fucking anything. And then she leaps over velvet ropes. The skirt is up around her
Up
waist.
to her boobs.
Yeah, it just flew up.
And she's
so-
wearing like boots. She's not clothed at
No.
all for this obstacle course.
No, and she does a good job considering.
Oh my God, I was dying watching her do those hurdles.
It was, and then they do, because they do slow-mo and they play some fake Chariots of Fire music. Dun, 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 dun. I'll patch it in.
My notes say badge in all caps.
My notes say looking butt fucking naked. Oh jeez.
Oh my God.
So Brandy wins. She's the finalist. She gets the she gets that
the
great
private
prize.
date.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And in the meantime, the girls are like, the other ones go back to the house and they're like setting up for Brett's birthday.
Yeah, it's his birthday.
It's
today.
Brett's birthday. And so they like made him cake and they like blew up all these balloons and they greeted him with a happy birthday song. And he's like kissing every single girl in the
Yeah.
house.
It's
getting
like,
a
it's my
birthday
birthday.
kiss.
You have to kiss me.
Smooch. Like literally he's going around the circle. And these are the times in Rock of Love where it is just the most awkward.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And it's just this one dude, all these girls that are like kind of friends, but they also have to flirt with Brett, and
Right.
Brett's jamming his hands down their pants.
right.
It's he his way to party with the girls. He's like, I get out my boombox. It's this little shitty CD player, and I put a mic up to the PA. I'm like, that's how you play music in this house?
No, it's the same ones that they used for the
I know.
songwriting.
But-
So
but
I
he,
think
like-
it's just whatever was around the house, and then
guess so.
he
There's
had to
no-
do a little quip
They don't-
about why.
Maybe they didn't give the team like access to the good sound
No, I
equipment
think it
that's
was
like
just
built in
like
the house.
whatever is in the house right now. This is what we're gonna use.
Yeah, so he puts a microphone up to this shitty little boombox and plays music, and everybody's getting down. Sam actually knows how to grind
he
a
plugs
pole.
it into a big amp speaker thing.
No, babe.
Oh,
watch
really?
it. He puts a mic up to
Oh
it.
my
It's
God.
so budget.
Oh my God.
It's so budget.
I totally missed that.
No, it's bad, and I'm like embarrassed for him. Like, dude, in our little studio setup, in our little playhouse,
Yeah.
I could get you better sound than whatever this is.
Damn.
And this is like a
I
mansion.
thought he was like a rock star and whatever.
Exactly. So what happened? He puts on this music. Everybody's grinding on him, except Magdalena's outside smoking and drinking by herself.
She just kind of like pieces out.
She's like looking over her shoulder, like, you should come talk to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the other girls are in their underpants and grinding on Brett.
So he's probably not going to go outside and smoke a cigarette with you. But you are just starting to get the impression that Magdalena is like a little over it.
Yeah, no,
Like
100%.
not just the girls and the partying and whatever, but like that she's over Brett. She's
Yeah.
over all of it.
She hasn't really won a thing. You know, she tied for a win that one time. I want to pause right here. Sam is breaking it down on this pole.
Yeah.
I got to back it up for Ashley. Ashley, help me out. Help me out. Is Brett looking at Sam's butt, or is he eye fucking those feet? What do we think's going on here? Is that a good look?
So just for the listeners.
Watch his eyes. They stay down there when her butt goes up.
Oh.
He's a feet boy.
He's so just
He's
for
a
the
nasty feetman.
Andy, let me explain to the listeners what's happening. Do you understand how an audio format works? Do you understand?
It's only our 6th episode.
So she's up on the pole, Sam, and Brett has his eyeballs, his gaze fixed, and it was hard to tell in the moment because it looked like he was just like
Level with her
looking at her
butt, maybe.
butt. But you're right. He does kind of keep the gaze down at the feet.
low.
That's
like
weird.
she drops it low. Maybe he's looking at her butt. She gets back up. He's still looking down low. He's a feet boy, and she is barefoot.
Don't you feel like we would have heard about this by now? Because like he's not afraid to talk about his weird stuff.
That's a good point.
Wait, I take that. It's not weird, guys. I don't want to yuck your yums.
No kink shame.
Yeah, no king shaming here. If you like feet, whatever.
But I don't think we would have heard about it because Brett is not a notable media figure in any way, shape, or form.
No, but I mean on this show.
I guess he might have said something.
Don't you think he would have said something? I don't know.
Because he can't stop talking about what turns him on.
Yeah.
So Sam is getting a lot of attention, and Lacey cannot have this. So she just throws herself on Brett, starts tongue kissing him. Heather grabs his hand, puts it down her pants. Like Sam's like, I'm out.
They basically decide earlier in the episode that they're gonna like Sam's their new target. Yeah, and so they figure, and like rightfully so, that she's like doesn't like this whole multiple girls with Brett situation. She can get jealous. She's sensitive about it, and so they proceed to just sort of like
Poke at that wound.
Poke at it. Yeah. To the point where like they're doing all this stuff with Brett and Sam like leaves the party and like goes up to her bed.
And Brett was really feeling Sam and the dancing. And so, she's mad at everybody. She's fucking mad at everybody the next morning when they wake up for breakfast. And so Lacey.
She tells Lacey to fuck right off.
And so Lacey's like, time to tattle, and goes to Brett's room to just say like, Sam's really insecure. And also all the Magdalena and Sam are correct. They tell Lacey, what are you doing knocking on his door? He might be sleeping, dude. It was his birthday. We went hard last night.
Yeah. Magdalena's like, give him some space. These hyenas are always around him. And it's true. It's like, he's probably hungover.
Yeah.
It seems relatively early. His door isn't open yet. He's not like saying I'm awake and ready to socialize. And Lacey like
would you like to talk about
there.
drama? I'd love to talk shit first thing in the morning.
And I can't believe he hasn't picked up on it yet, that she comes in to pick these little battles, to pick out who she wants to get eliminated, and she confides in him something she's worried about.
Yeah. And as usual, Brett eats it up. He appreciates the duplicitous bullshit every time.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, I wrote down a few names, like, so Lacey did this with Rodeo, right? Because she made a big deal about Rodeo being sad about her kid.
Yep.
And so it always gets warped into like, this is for your own good, for you to go home. And then it happened with Dallas too, right? And then also Aaron.
Yeah.
Right? They thought, she had a fiance or she wanted to like be a star fucker with JT, and they put that little nugget in Brett's ear,
just takes
and it works every time.
He is it's very it's like the last thing he hears is the thing that is foremost on his mind, and Lacey is always the last thing. She's making sure to be the last thing he hears.
Yeah.
Every time, and then he just walks around like, this is what I know.
Yeah. This is I got the inside scoop.
And if you can get in Brett's ear, that's going to be the only thing he's thinking about until the next person gets his ear.
So this time it's Sam is freaking out. Sam is jealous. Sam's too sensitive, and Brett buys it.
And so Brett goes and checks on Sam at least, and she's folding clothes. She wants some alone time. Yeah. She's young. She's introverted. She's like, I don't like feeling hurt in front of millions of people on this show.
Yeah, how am I supposed to get close to you when girls are grinding up on you?
Yep. And then she opens up. She shares more of her personal life. We know so much about this poor young woman, and she shouldn't be sharing this shit with these vapid, shallow people.
Well, she shared it with Brett, but still.
I said what I said.
Point two. I thought it was more along the lines of like, stop telling these girls stuff. But yeah, maybe you don't need to tell Brett. Yeah.
But she, at this point, thinks she can at least still tell Brett.
Yeah.
And so she tells Brett that she was in a physically abusive relationship when she was 21.
Yeah. Yeah. Emotionally, physically abusive. He would slam her into walls. He was a drug addict. He called her a slut. He talked down to her. He cheated on her. And she also confides about how she's taking Prozac now.
Yes.
And how it's like like really helping her, you know, with all of this shit that she's gone through, very real trauma.
And you're sharing this on this show, and I hope you can say that it's worth it, Sam. I hope so. I mean, the only real benefit I see to this is that Ashley and I think you're a wonderful person.
Yeah, she
who
does seem
deserves better
wonderful.
than this show.
She does seem wonderful. And like Brett's reaction again is like he buys into Lacey's narrative. He says Sam's really intense. Maybe I'm going to have to let her go for her own sanity.
And later he'll bring it up. I don't want to jump ahead too far, but he gets pretty insulting with the mental health shit.
Yes. Yes.
You wrote that down?
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
We'll dig in there.
Because it was really shitty,
Yeah.
actually.
So Brett and Brandy are on a date to a hockey game, but while they're at the hockey
private
game,
date. Yeah.
While they're at the hockey game, Ashley, what are the girls up to?
Well, so like apparently there's this note from Brett, which part of me is like, did Lacey write this note from Brett?
It sounds like right. It feels like it.
Because she found it, you know, but it's basically like they need to write down for every girl in the house the reason that each girl should go home. Or why
Again,
they
it
shouldn't
feels
be
like
there.
Lacey wrote this note.
Totally. Like this is just a way to get them all pissed off at each other and mine information from each other that can be used against each other.
And Lacey is bonered up to do this fucking one.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm going to get dirt on everybody. I'm going to get under everybody's skin.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's all about it. And so they're like going through the list of girls, and like Sam is first, and obviously Sam's the target.
Yep.
So they say that Sam is jealous and insecure. And then Sam says that Lacey is a nasty, mean, dumb, bleep, bleep, bleep. And they bleeped
Like just,
out
they
everything she
bleep
said.
so long. Like she just keeps coming up with things that they have to censor. And I'm like, I want to know what you're
I don't know
saying.
what she said. I know. I wish we could read her lips.
Lacey is a nasty, mean, dumb. I don't either, but you know, it's not.
So Jess tells Heather that she doesn't know who she really is.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey says that Mia isn't interested in Brett. The blowjob Brandy nickname comes up because they got to bring up Brandy too, even though she's not there.
Even though she's on the date. So while she's not there, it's really Lacey that says, does he really want a girlfriend who's known for blowjobs?
Yeah, who wants that? That sounds terrible.
Because as we find out later, Lacey
Is known for blowjobs.
gives a great blowjob,
Yeah, right.
apparently.
So Lacey thinks that Brandy's just a groupie. Jess, everybody seems to like Jess, and everybody just goes, your age and your location are a problem. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, and she's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, like you're too young, you don't live in LA. Those are like the only things we can find wrong with you.
And then Magdalena goes in on Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
And then that turns into a dog pile. And this is where it is not going the way Lacey thought it would go. And it's really delightful.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to get under everybody's skin. And then everybody is up her ass and she's trying to not
She's
kill
losing it.
everybody.
She is losing it. You can see on her face like, oh, now it's my turn.
She's always able to keep his just psychotic smile on her face when she's angry and losing her mind, and it's really tough for her. Like everybody is like, no, looking at her like dead faced in the eye, going like, no, we think you're scary, we think you're a bad person, and we think you're insincere.
You're
and
the devil.
like there is
You're a
no
freak.
emotion to what
That's
they're
what
telling her.
Magdalena says.
Yeah, you're a freak. And then she has a talking head. Lacey has a talking head where she says, just because I'm strategic doesn't mean I'm cold, hollow person inside. And I'm like, if you're just strategic, which
But that's
every
not-
talking head suggests,
It's not what you are.
you are cold and hollow inside.
Yeah. Sam, you know, she's like the songwriter, the emo poet. She goes, when I talk to you, I see through you.
There you go.
That's what she says about Lacey.
That's
I was
right.
like, oh, go Sam. That's a very Sam thing to say.
She,
When
she
I
went
talk
back,
to you, I see through you.
and then she went back to her room and wrote it on her binder. Ashley, so while all this is going on, Brandy and Brett are at the hockey game. I think you should share a little bit about what we know about Brandy and Brett at the hockey game.
Yeah, so I mentioned in one of our other episodes that there is a moment, and I learned this from Lacey's podcast.
You don't need to listen to it. We don't need to name it.
No, because obviously ours is way cooler than hers. But yeah, Brandy M was on her podcast, and
On Lacey's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Brandy M said, you know, there was a moment when I realized like Brett is not here for love. He's here for a TV show. That's why he's doing all of this. And she says it was at this hockey game. So like the date itself, right, is like it's all VIP. They're in a box that's like, quarantined off. They have people coming to wait on them. It's like kind of a really cool hockey game experience. But I guess what Brandy M said is that as they were walking into this game, which we don't see any of this on camera, that he was holding her hand while they walked. And then some girls noticed Brett and came up, and he like dropped her hand.
Yep.
And went towards the fans and like kind of forgot that she was even there.
And just got immersed in the fan experience.
Yeah, rather than being like including her, introducing her or anything, it was just like, oh, you're gone.
You need to stay over there while I'm talking to these people.
Yeah. And so that was the moment she said that she was like, oh, I see what's happening here. This is not a real date. You don't give a shit about me.
You just abandoned your date back here so you could go talk to other people.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
These are your fans.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what you're looking for from the show.
That's the hockey game.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the gist is Brett's not here for love, everybody.
Yeah. And he kind of like I think according to both of them, it's a great date though. Otherwise, like they both have a great time.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Brett says basically that Brandy M is a tomboy,
Mm-hmm.
Like she can change your tire and you still want to have sex with her. He says it's one of the best dates he's ever had, So I don't know. I mean, I guess you can see there's some kind of connection there, but it is kind of funny to me that while we're seeing this supposedly great date that the show is portraying as a great date.
That was the moment.
That was
Brandy
like Brandy M's behind the scenes were like,
no,
this is okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm wanted here.
Yeah.
So they get back. And that honestly, what Ashley shared about Brandy's podcast adventure was more interesting than the actual date.
Yeah.
Like knowing that that's the moment
Yeah.
that the curtains kind of lifted on Brandy. Is very much
Probably
more
the most
important.
the only other like funny thing that Brandy M said that I was like, what? she was telling him how she has a lot of guy friends and she has a lot of lesbian friends, but she's not a lesbian. But she would have sex with a girl, but then she would kick her out afterwards. And I was like, girl, if you want to say that you're a lesbian, you could just own that.
You can say that.
You don't have to like make it this like early 2000s. I would only do this for the male gaze kind of thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure there are lesbians that would have sex with a woman and kick them out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in the game, Brandy. You're in the game. You can say it. It's fine.
I don't know. Yeah, I just thought it was like funny. She had to like backpedal. Like, I don't know.
well, they're back, and it's elimination night now.
Yeah.
And I knew from the jump. Like Brett at the top of the show was talking about how he hasn't had a chance to form a connection with Magdalena or Mia, and I'm like, okay, so you're announcing who the bottom two, pretty much like at the jump.
Yeah.
Unless one of them win.
End up being the bottom two.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But you kind of know who's on the
making it
chopping
clear.
block.
Yeah. Totally.
And and so now he's back and he's having a 1-to-1 with Magdalena, who was again sitting outside smoking, drinking by herself while all the other girls were grabbing Brett's junk and all this shit. And he's trying to make this Polish immigrant be affectionate. And I don't know if he understands how Eastern Europe kind of is with like PDA.
Yeah, or if she's just not that into him, which is the vibe that I'm getting. Like her going outside during that party and smoking a cigarette is like, I'm not interested.
I'm over it now.
Yeah, and even when he's talking to her in this like moment, trying to gauge if maybe she's interested, she's like,
if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
yeah, and if it's not meant to be, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And
Brett's sitting there trying to
alludes,
say like, I need some fire, girl.
Yeah, but she's trying to tell him like it's not here.
Yeah.
Something's not here, and I'm not going to try to force it.
Yeah.
Basically.
and it's like, well, yeah, definitely not forcing it. I'm not telling her that she needs to try harder. It's up to her how she wants to play this game. But it is very much like,
because it is a game at the end of the day. But she is being on, like, if we're looking at it from what maybe some of the girls still think, which is finding love.
Yeah.
If she's really still thinking that way, she's like, well, we haven't found love, you know?
and so then it's fine to just sit outside and smoke and
Yeah.
by yourself and so on.
and not try to connect anymore.
So Brett then has to go to talk to Sam because
Mm-hmm.
Sam is crying in the bathroom. And well, actually, Sam goes to talk to Brett, I should say.
Yeah.
And Sam is telling him, "I'm too sensitive to be here.
Yeah.
I really like you so much. I don't want to get hurt in front of millions of people."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
And Brett
well,
says, "You are bipolar."
that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
he didn't say it to her face. He said it like
To the talking
to
head.
yeah, in his little interview.
Yeah.
It's like, I think she's kind of bipolar. It's like, because a woman has emotions.
And has a
for a
Prozac
minute.
prescription?
Yeah.
You just immediately jump to she's bipolar?
Yeah.
Like, and number one, she didn't tell you she was bipolar.
No.
She told you she took Prozac.
No.
Number
Which, like,
two,
lots of people take Prozac for depression. Like, it doesn't mean you're bipolar. Like, what the hell are you talking
it
about?
was so fucking rude. Like,
Yeah.
just to, again, Sam's trust and vulnerability is abused by
Yeah.
everybody she shares it with.
Totally.
Even Brett right now.
Totally.
It's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
To hear him make some real bullshit ableist like comment like that so flippantly. Like, yeah, she's like giving bipolar. No, she's not. There's not a moment where she's bipolar. She's sad
Yeah.
because she likes you and you're tongue fucking other women in front of her.
Yeah. She's very reasonably sad by the situation. She's very reasonably like not feeling great about this. Yeah.
So Brett does read the note with all the reasons that the girls gave right before elimination, and everybody's nervous about it, and everybody's nervous for elimination. Only 7 girls, but they all. It's very clear on the note that like they all believe Lacey's insincere, the cause of the drama, and Brett believes it. That's shocking. But again, the last thing you tell Brett is the thing that he will move forward with.
Right.
And so if the note tells him that Lacey is insincere, then he's like, "That's the last thing I heard. I'm going with that."
Well, he says maybe Lacey is the cause of all the drama in this house. Like, freaking duh. Like,
It's taken us 6 episodes. Like, she's been
blind,
nonstop.
deaf, and dumb. Yeah.
Hey,
And it's-
Ashley,
What?
what do you like? What do you like in a girl? Do you like a girl and a short skirt and a long jacket?
And a long jacket.
That's right. It's Long Jacket. It's the segment of the podcast where we detail Bret Michaels' fashion decisions at Elimination Night.
And oh God, does he deliver?
Ashley, give it to me.
Oh my
what
God.
the hell is happening?
Oh my God.
What is
Okay.
it?
So can we start with his jacket?
Yeah. I mean, how do you
pièce de
start with
résistance.
How do you start with anything? The pièce de résistance. How do you talk about anything else?
It is bright cherry red pleather.
It is. It's like a children's
shiny.
raincoat,
It's shiny.
but red. Like he looks like a. It looks like a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Like fireman's clothes or
yeah.
something.
It squeaks when you touch it.
It's
for sure.
It is blinding.
Squeaks.
There is so much shine off this red vinyl jacket.
Oh my God.
He is wearing an Affliction t-shirt underneath.
He is. It took me a while to
for that
notice that too. I was like, oh my God, it's Affliction.
That subtle touch of elegance, in case you were
And
wondering, everybody.
a luxurious silver chain.
Is he wearing jeans or just some black slacks? What
black
is this?
pants.
He does have a chain on. You're
Yes.
correct.
And this hat. Oh,
The American Outlaw
this hat.
We've talked about the American Outlaw hat. He can't get enough of this fucking
no.
thing.
It's like spray painted.
Spray painted. Ashley, lay off the wine.
I don't have any wine. I'm just still tired from the Green Day concert. If you hear me slurring tonight, it is because it literally takes me 4 days to recover from any.
It's cool being 40.
activity.
Let me tell you what. Anything else about his fashion?
No, that's really it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my God.
We got to get like some visuals on this. I'll talk to Brenda after the show, and we'll see if we can get some
Yeah.
posts for social. We'll talk more about socials at the
We
end.
should do like like just like a whole one post with all of his looks that
Yeah.
people can scroll through.
Oh, I love that. A
For at
gallery.
least yes, that is
Yes.
the word I was looking for.
It's a gallery.
I know, internet.
Yes. I'm much more online than you. I'm not afraid to make that known. We're down to Magdalena and Sam, not Magdalena
Oh yeah,
and
so
Mina.
Brandy M got a pass, Heather got a pass, Jess got a pass, Mia got a pass. Where are we?
And now we're at Magdalena
Oh.
and Sam.
Lacey got a pass.
Lacey got a pass, yeah.
And he points out her cankles, which took me a second.
I guess they have like a nickname for her.
Cankles McGee, but it must have to do with her hurt ankle.
Oh.
Yeah, it took me I was like, did he just call her Cankles
Good
McGee?
catch. Good catch. Because I'm like, she's just, I don't know, like cankles, sometimes that's a calf muscle thing. Sometimes you're saying they're fat. Isn't it?
It's an insult,
Yeah.
unless it's like a joke like that about her spraining her ankle.
That's more likely,
which
you're
makes
right.
more sense.
So they leave Magdalena and Sam up there. Then he calls Magdalena down, but in a real cruel, pointless switcheroo, he calls Magdalena down not to give her a pass, but to say, "You going home." And
I
it's
will
like,
miss you.
why are we doing this weird switcheroo shit?
Because it leaves the suspense hanging, Andy.
It's really rude. This is where he calls her bipolar, I think, in the talking head.
He says, don't go
crazier. Don't go crazier, implying that she is crazy.
That
You motherfucker.
That pissed me off more than the bipolar comment.
Same, like,
And-
it's just like, what
and
the
Sam
you
just-
can't stop.
Sam just took it.
Yeah.
I was like, that would have been the moment where I'm freaking out of
Checked
there.
out.
Yeah.
And it was so
She is
fucking rude.
not, she's being gaslit. She's not crazy.
No.
And he's calling her bipolar and crazy.
She's exhibited zero crazy behavior
No.
except for being on Rock of Love.
Yeah. There is one stupid and crazy thing that she did.
And unfortunately, she signed up for it. I'm sorry. But we all make mistakes when we're young,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, the health comments are really unnecessary, Brett, and you can get fucked, dude. I don't like you.
Really hated that. And then now, there's only 6 left, and he's when they cheers at the end, he's like, "Here's to the sexy 6."
He's such a
It's
piece
gonna
of
happen to every episode from this point on.
Actually, I did want to. This was interesting. This is the first time Lacey has gunned for somebody and not gotten her.
It didn't work.
It
You're
didn't
right.
fucking work. And I feel like they
It
go
almost
to a talk.
did. It
Yeah.
almost did,
Yeah.
but it didn't.
It didn't work. And it cuts to Lacey, and I think her cage is rattled. All the girls wrote down that she's fucking insincere
Yeah.
and crazy. And
And he read that, and he took it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then her and Heather both targeted Sam, and they didn't get her.
Yeah,
I think that's an important note there
Yeah.
too. You know,
I think you're right.
it's
yeah.
the first time, so
That
plans are
there's-
falling apart.
Yeah.
You got to change your strategy, Lacey.
Yeah.
Um,
She won't, though.
she will continue to
Spoiler
be
alert.
a horrible person in this and seasons of television to come.
Yeah.
Hey, is it my turn to eulogize?
Do you want to do eulogy and then where is she now?
Yeah, it was. Which would you prefer? What do you think's better?
I think eulogy first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bow your heads. Mm-hmm. Close your eyes. Mm-hmm. Close them. I see you. Okay, that's because my eyes are open. Okay, now we both close them. Okay, 1, 2. Both closed. Okay. Dearly beloved, we're here to bid farewell to Legs, Magdeanderthal, Magdalena, a Polish immigrant who cared not for Bret Michaels' music, and boy, can we relate. Shh, God. Magdalena, you're a good-looking woman. You're also a baritone. I don't know what Ashley's gonna say about your "Where Are They Now," but I'm assuming Cher impersonator is in the
Barbershop
card. We miss you, Magdalena, and we hope things are working out for you for the best, and Ashley will let us know more. Amen.
Boy, can I tell you they're not working out for the best.
Oh, no.
I know. I know.
Shit.
So there is very little on the internet about Magdalena, which is exactly what I said about Aaron last week, but it's true. It happens to be two people that kind of like, this was over and they were done.
Well, and yeah, this is not the last time that we're gonna find out that people did this show and disappeared.
Yeah.
I know that. I won't get ahead of
heavily
it.
regretted doing the show.
Yeah.
But so Magdalena was charged with credit card forgery and drug possession.
Oh my God.
It was either in 2018 or 2020. It was relatively
recent.
recently. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you LexisNexis this or Westlaw? Like what?
No.
Did you?
If you Google her name, which is Magdalena Widz, W-I-D-Z,
Okay.
her, like, it's from Kentucky, I think. Her correctional, like the charges and everything are like on
Public record.
Kentucky's website, which
Use
like,
just a Google search.
yeah, which is like weird because like in California, you can't do that for
Right.
a criminal.
Right.
Like you can figure it out, but you have to go down a few more search paths
Yeah.
than just a Google search.
Oh, we
you
do
know?
that all the time in this
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
So
So she was sentenced to 5 years in prison. And apparently she got out early on parole like a couple of years ago.
okay, good.
I know.
But man,
That is all I know.
things
is
are
that
not
she is
going well for.
now a convicted felon.
Well, if you were a spy, Magdalena, which I did not
Allegedly.
bring up in the
No,
eulogy.
wait. She was she was found guilty. So
She was
that's
found
not
guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not alleged anymore. If you were a spy, as
Mm-hmm.
Brett suspected at the gun range, you're lousy at it. And you've been caught.
She was trying to spy.
Yeah, with
Credit card forgery? Well,
that, I don't know if that's one of the many tactics of a James Bond type.
don't they have to have fake?
They do.
Credit
That's
cards?
A good, God damn it, Ashley! You might be onto something.
I know.
Okay, I changed my mind. Ashley, this has been fun. I think we did this great service to America once again.
Yeah, I agree, and I think we both are struggling with the English language today because
No, I said what what I meant to say was I think we serviced America really well once again. Is that better?
that's great.
Awesome. Well, it's that time of the podcast where we do a little bit of house cleaning. So a reminder, wherever you're listening to this podcast, leave us a comment. Check us out on social media, mol.podcast, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, on TikTok, and fuck Twitter. We're not there. So follow us on Blue Sky. It's a much better site. We look forward to reading some of your content and sharing it on social media. We love when we get feedback from you guys, and we are happy to regurgitate the fun things you send to us. From Andy and Ashley, will you
continue to stay in this house and rock
our
world?
Fuck, boy.
We cannot get this right. Wait.
Mock of Love After Dark. Will you continue to stay in this house and rock our world? Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Mock of Love is produced by Andy and Ashley. All views and comments do not necessarily reflect the views of Andy and Ashley, so ease up on us. If you enjoyed this romp through reality shows past, please follow, like, subscribe, and leave us a comment wherever you listen to podcasts.